Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 9 a.m. news and weather updates from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got a story to bring you out of Pitt County where a man who was facing child porn charges is now facing additional charges on top of, again, what he was already charged with. Now, 44-year-old James Samuelson was arrested by Pitt County deputies on April 17th following a joint investigation with the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation. Now, Samuelson was charged with 5 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor and 5 counts of third-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. According to warrants obtained by WITN, Samuelson was filming material containing visuals of minors engaging in sexual activity. One warrant says a girl was between 8 and 10 years old, while another says a girl was between 12 and 14 years old. On May 8th, the Sheriff's Office says it received another Internet Crimes Against Children case from the SBI involving Samuelson. The tip contained 15 more videos of child sexual abuse material. The investigation led deputies to charge Samuelson with 15 additional counts of second-degree exploitation of a minor and another 15 counts of third-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. Deputies say Samuelson was arrested again on the new charges yesterday. He remains in the Pitt County Jail now under a total secured bond of $1.7 million. The Pitt County Sheriff's Office says its investigation is ongoing. Now we want to highlight the happenings in the Middle East, where President Trump is continuing his tour through Saudi Arabia and eventually bouncing around some of the other countries around the region. NBC's Peter Alexander has more.
This morning, President Trump traveling to Qatar. The next stop on his Middle East tour marked by pomp and pageantry and controversy. The president showcasing extraordinarily close relationships with leaders once distanced from the U.S., including Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
I've seen tremendous unity, tremendous friendship.
President Trump even extending an olive branch to Iran, but only if it gives up its nuclear ambitions.
I want to make a deal with Iran.
The president today meeting briefly with Syria's new president, the former leader of a group the U.S. previously called a terrorist organization. After announcing he'll lift sanctions on Syria at the Saudi Crown Prince's urging.
I will be ordering the cessation of sanctions against Syria in order to give them a chance at greatness. Oh, what I do for the Crown Prince.
On Monday, the Crown Prince feting President Trump at a dinner after the president touted Saudi commitments to invest hundreds of billions of dollars in the U.S. The president lavishing his host with praise for what he says is his work to transform the region.
Mohammed, do you sleep at night? How do you sleep?
But the stop today in Qatar coming with extra scrutiny after the country President Trump once called a funder of terrorism offered to gift the U.S. a luxury jumbo jet to be used as Air Force One.
You know, we're the United States of America. I believe that we should have the most impressive plane.
Top Republicans among those questioning the proposed deal.
The plane poses significant espionage and surveillance problems, so we'll see how this issue plays out, but I certainly have concerns.
And again, that was Peter Alexander reporting. We now turn our attention to your weather forecast. Today is again another First Alert weather day. We're not seeing any rain showers right now. In fact, most of us are waking up to sunny skies, at least partly sunny skies. There's certainly some cloud cover around. Let's take a look at what we've got outside our Greenville studio right now. Again, cloud cover there, but we've got a peak of blue. We've got a peak of blue. Right now, Washington looking a little bit more gray over the Pamlico River, but you can tell we've got sunshine on the way. As in Belhaven right now, things again are starting to really break up in terms of cloud cover. Let's take a look at what we've got on our radar picture right now. Again, some atmospheric anomalous propagation down there near Carteret and Onslow counties. If you are watching, again, from those areas around the radar site, that green on your screen, not actual rain coming down. Do want to say good morning to Esmeralda from Beulahville. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me this morning. As far as, again, what we've got coming in later on today, there will be some thunderstorms developing as we head into the late afternoon to early evening hours. These thunderstorms, again, are going to be fairly widespread. Here's another look at, again, the Pamlico River in Washington, 70 degrees, currently feels like 70 degrees despite that 66-degree dew point. A south-southwesterly wind right now blowing in at about 3 miles an hour will continue to bring that additional heat and humidity back to eastern North Carolina, but currently air temperatures right around the upper 60s to low 70s. We do have the mid 70s showing up for some of our more coastal regions, particularly Beaufort as well as Oriental, 73 in New Bern as well as Jacksonville and Kenansville right now. But winds fairly light. We're going to see these winds pick up speed coming up later on this afternoon. Right now, wind speeds generally between around 3 to 8 miles an hour for most of the east. Beaufort right now enjoying a 12-mile-per-hour breeze, but the south-southwesterly wind will help bring in more humidity. We had a little bit of a I would say a little bit of a decrease in your dew point numbers due to the showers and storms we saw yesterday and last night. But through today, because of those winds, we will see that humidity make a rebound. Now, by the time we get to around noon, we may have a stray shower along the coast. That's not going to be, again, the main event for today. Main event comes in later on this evening through the overnight hours, as a front will again bring heavy downpours and thunderstorms back to the region. Some of those storms may try to linger into Thursday morning. I think right now the model is certainly overdoing it in terms of rainfall potential for the early hours of your Thursday. Was projecting kind of the same thing for today. Didn't see it come to fruition. I don't think we're going to see it again coming up for tomorrow. But tomorrow afternoon we will see more heat. And we will see more humidity, which means we will also see a better chance of some spotty storms coming in tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. There you saw those storms rolling in from the northwest. Here's kind of a big picture look at exactly what's going on. That high pressure system, once that moves down to our south, that is really going to start to increase our temperatures at a fairly rapid rate, getting into the low 90s by the tail end of this week. That high, though, is going to take its time getting into that final position. Here's Thursday, slowly starting to sink its way further south across Alabama and Georgia. And at this point, again, we will still have a little bit of cloud cover still lingering across eastern North Carolina. That cloud cover, though, will be fairly thin. Here's a look at your full 8-day forecast. Again, looking at a chance of some more showers really Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, and then Friday, a little bit of a drier day. May end up putting another 20% chance of rain back onto Friday afternoon just because of that heat and humidity. But by the time we reach into next week, we will likely see sunnier skies and air temperatures getting down to a more reasonable low to mid 80s range. Well, that's all we have time for today's 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday.